This is where you go if you want to see something or if you want to hear something funny. Coming up in just a couple minutes. This is a joke I told. What? I'm not on Dove Radio? Call the police. Call my agent.
Tony, welcome to Go.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
I gotta pat you down though, pal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Got anything on you? Anything I should know?
I got nothing.
Anything weird going on?
What?
Alright, you go in, Tony. Good.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Tom Kelly of The Tom Kelly Show. Yes, this is not the only time I've gotten on my knees in the back room of a comedy club.
The Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show is also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair, from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. Give Two Eagles Auto Body a call and please ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527. That's 516-328-2527.
Hey, how do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan, creator of the Jerky Boys, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony on the Knockem Dead Radio Show. They're gonna keep knocking them dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie.
Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, at Knockem Dead Comedy Radio.
Hey, Tony, you're not funny, and you probably shit yourself a lot, and you're no fun to be with, and you don't make that much money, and you're not going anywhere in show business, and I hope you get hit by a bus.
telling all your friends the party never ends. Knockem Dead.
What's with the face? What's the matter?
Huh?
What's with the face?
Nothing. I'm trying to figure out all these people.
Oh, they're...
All I know is you. A lot of coffee drinkers.
Well, there's Andy.
There's Andy.
Yeah, they're all comedians
That's the guy
and
with
friends.
one leg. No, that guy.
And there it is. And then now you'll see what I'm talking about. So look at the face. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Knockem Dead Comedy Show. Coming at you live from Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. We're on the YouTube feed. We're on the Facebook feed. If you'd like to comment and say hello, please do so on the YouTube feed. That is where we monitor our comments, like John just did. Good morning. And he said it as two separate words. He said good morning as one word the other day.
Oh, he did.
And I made fun of him.
And got
And
to hit the little space bar.
I definitely hit a nerve. He carried that for about 3 or 4 days. He carried that thing.
Well, I always tell him this. He doesn't know how to use a cellular device properly.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
What is he doing wrong with it?
Everything.
Oh. Well, is he able to make it vibrate?
It does vibrate.
Well,
I know he uses it in very strange places.
Right. He probably once he got that figured out, he stopped trying to figure anything else out. Yeah.
Well, his wife may have done that for him.
Made it vibrate?
No.
Oh, set it up for him? Oh, or wrote good morning for him?
Grammatically proper.
She is the smarter one of the two.
I must admit, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, John.
No, you're not.
Not really.
No, not at all. The Knockem Dead Comedy Show. We're coming at you live from the legendary Governor's Comedy Club. Please subscribe to our channels and follow our channels and share our channels and, yeah, whatever, all that social media stuff that you people do. Tell everybody you know about all the great shows here. Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. We're here. This is our first Wednesday back in years.
Years?
Years. We haven't.
Wow.
We stopped. Yeah, I think we only did it for like the first 2 years or something, and we just celebrated our 6th anniversary here. So yeah, it's been years since we've done Wednesdays.
Wow.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Go get him.
2 minutes into the show, you got to break my balls about I can't use a cell phone. I know how to call you, you fucking ugly bastard. All right? I know how to call you. All right? Am I correct?
Unless someone's typing it out for you, hitting the numbers for you.
Yeah, no. Say something, Kaplan. Say something. All right?
I don't know. I'm innocent.
All right.
Whoa, man!
Where'd you get that shirt? Where'd you get that shirt from? All right.
I actually got this at Macy's, believe it or not.
You got it at Macy's. Yeah, you got it in a fucking secondhand welfare store. That's where you got that shirt.
There's one right across the street from here, as a matter of fact.
Hey, that's where you probably got it from. That's right. Would you give him $2 for the shirt? No, he wouldn't give him $2, you cheap bastard. He'd probably give him $1.
He's not worth
All
that.
right. Yeah, exactly right. All right. Let me tell you something. I just want to tell you. You see that man next to you? All right. He's the greatest guy in the world. He actually his only day off during the week was Wednesday. He made a Wednesday show so you can get your ugly ass face on the show and cause havoc because you don't smile. In fact, the last time you were on the show, I had a neighbor of mine. Watch the show with me, and you're going to meet him when you come down here. He's an avid golfer, like you. You're a half-ass golfer, but he's an avid golfer. And he said, "Does this guy work in a mortuary?" So I said, "No, no. He's an ex-highway guy." He goes, "He looks like he works in a mortuary or a morgue."
It's my shtick.
It's your stick.
Like Droopy
every
Dog.
Once in a while, the man on his only day off decided to have another show so you could look. At least you're going to have the decency to smile and interact with some of the co-hosts, not sit there and use those big fancy words that nobody understands but you.
I think they're made up words.
Of course, yeah. It's like, he uses big words like marmalade and delicatessen. You have a wonderful show, all right? And Mr. Kaplan, you keep your legs crossed because you're a dangerous man when you have your legs open. Nice to see you. Goodbye.
I love you, John.
A dangerous man with your legs open, meaning that your penis is large, or you fart, or there's things coming out.
All the above.
Oh, well, all right, hang on. I have another call. I guarantee this guy does not know I'm on the air. So let's see. So I'm on the air right now. Do you want to talk on the air and say hi to everybody, or should I call you back later? So Stephen Costello is on the phone. We were talking about him just the other day when Tom Falcone was here. Say hi to everybody, Steve.
Hey, yeah. What's the show about today?
Today I have a man who ran for the superintendent of highways. How's that for excitement?
Wow. That is crazy. Highway, so there's only one, right? 495? Is that the one?
Well, yeah, 490. Well, but it's basically any road. We don't
Brookhaven.
We don't separate. Well, that's true. He's from the town of Brookhaven only, which I don't think the 495 even runs through.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how boring this is going to
Where do
be.
you think I live in the North Pole?
Yes, you live in the sticks.
When we first moved to Long Island,
yeah.
I guess we got as far as Farmingville because that was where the expressway ended.
Exactly.
That was
Yeah.
in 1968. So we're like, okay, I guess. Well, after that, it was dirt. So.
Yeah, and it still is. It doesn't matter past past
really
that point.
Well, listen. Thanks for having me. Have a great show, and we'll talk later.
All right. Yeah, I'll call you back this afternoon.
All right.
Thanks, pal. I put poor Steve on the spot. But Steve, that's Stephen Costello. He's the guy, which I've told you about him before. He's the guy that hooked me up with my Mookie Wilson interview from last summer.
Oh, really?
So that guy will always be my hero. And he's actually going to be in the studio next Friday. Paul Vecchione, who was on the show with me a month ago, he's from Long Island Prep. He's going to do his own show in here, and Steve's going to be his guest. What's the matter?
I was just wondering, when you speak, you're looking that way. Are you looking at the camera, or you're just looking off into space?
No, I'm looking at the camera. I'm talking to the people.
Oh, all right.
I'm just like you at the beginning of the show.
I was drooling.
All right, now I know there's something you want to talk about, and right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought it was funny. By the way, John said big words like delicatessen.
Marmalade and delicatessen.
But John, we were talking about the deli next door before
Just
we went
now,
on the air.
Yeah, just before.
So I thought that was weird that John said that.
Yeah, it does bother me when people say deli.
Why?
Because the proper word is delicatessen.
So all right, hang on.
People should use the proper words for everything.
Why?
Deli, it's almost lazy.
Yeah, but any word. You're saying people should use the proper. Why?
Because it's a sign of laziness.
All right. All these years, most of the time, I would say 95% of the time, I call you Mike. Are you telling me I should call you Michael?
Everybody calls me Michael.
Yes, I've noticed that.
No one has ever called me Mike.
Except me?
Yeah.
Really?
Very rarely do I get Mike. It's always Michael.
See, when I first met you, we were working with a theater troupe together. I would swear everybody there called you Mike. No? Am I remembering that wrong?
Not that nice fella, Chuck.
Well, he had other words. We had other words for him.
We did.
Well, and there you go. See, you just said it. It's not Chuck.
It's Charles. But we don't know if his real name was Charles.
You think Chuck was just made up? What? You think it was possible his name was Frank and we just called him Chuck?
No, Chuck is sometimes Charles' nickname is Chuck.
Right. But then you just said we don't know if that was his real name.
Because maybe his mother threw up a lot and named him Chuck.
So you're saying maybe his birth certificate actually says Chuck on it?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Because my mother had actually, speaking of vomiting, my mother actually had morning sickness after I was born.
I had up until the day she passed.
No, she's still alive.
No, your father's dead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I hope so. They buried him. Well, he's not buried. He's actually in my living room. That sounds creepy when you say it, doesn't it?
Well, you could do like Keith Richards did. You're not familiar with that? Keith Richards.
Well, he's dead, isn't he?
No, he's not dead.
No, I know he's not dead, but he seems dead.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, he's dead. Nobody told him yet. He claims that he snorted his father.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did hear that, yeah. He mixed it with the stuff. And
yes. Yeah. Which I think he later on said he was joking, but you never know with that guy.
Oh, I don't know.
How that guy is alive is beyond me. All right, so yes, you do it. You had some stuff you wanted to talk about, yes?
I just wanted to talk about comedians in general.
All right, and we're going to do that.
Yes, sir.
But just one thing I want to do before that. I want to know where you've been, and I think we should ask you guys to come up with some thoughts of where you think Mike's been, because Mike, you haven't been here. What, early March? I think was the last time you were here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then I think it was like late March, early April when you told me about your schedule change, and then I said to you, "Well, I'm considering going back to Wednesdays anyway."
Yeah.
And then that's when I said, "All right, May 1st," because I wanted just a few more Wednesdays, to jerk off. So
you can do that anytime.
Oh, I've done it 3 times since you've been here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
thrice a day without fail.
But before we even decided to do Wednesdays, you hadn't been here for a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have one thing I want to ask you about during that time, but I'm asking you guys, where do you think Mike's been? What do you think he's been doing with himself during all this time? While John Rusciello was on the phone with us, Andy Plagianos commented, #Team Rusciello.
Team Rusciello.
Andy will be here this Friday with Laura Patton. That should be a fun show.
That General Patton's daughter?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Does she wear a 4-star General hat?
She can.
Actually, 5-star. I'm wrong.
Oh, you're
sorry.
right. I will ask her to wear that. And tomorrow, as I told you guys, we were supposed to have a guest who backed out, which made John very mad, by the way. John called in here yesterday screaming and carrying on. "It's disrespectful. Screw that guy." Oh, yeah, he was going crazy.
He is right. I am on his side. If someone says they're going to be here, they should be here out of respect for,
Yeah, it was weird because he...
Unless an emergency happens.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it kind of... I don't want to say it was an emergency, but... it was just weird because... So it was for tomorrow. He contacted my brother because Frank comes in on Thursdays now. Frank's your replacement on Thursdays.
Okay.
And Frank has been getting musical guests to come in.
Nice.
On Thursdays. In fact, he's got the next 3 months already booked for Thursdays with musical guests. Yeah, it's kind of cool. So the guest for tomorrow, Joe DeJesu, who's been in here many times, used to have a show in here, plays now with Mike Del Judas. He contacted Frank yesterday morning. It was probably around like 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. I woke up with a sore throat. I think I'm going to head to the doctor. So it doesn't look good for me on Thursday. Which I thought was kind of
48 hours in advance?
For a sore throat.
I'm going to be sick 3 weeks from tomorrow.
Right.
Minus 3 days.
Now, I mean, great. Just giving you a heads up. I have a sore throat. I'm going to go get checked out. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Now, if that was the approach, I would totally get that.
Yeah.
But it was not looking good for me on Thursday. I mean, you could have you could recover from a sore throat an hour later, for crying out loud.
An hour later.
I thought it was very odd.
Did you ever hear of Luden's cough drops?
Exactly. Ricola. So we figured, all right, he's out. So Frank was trying to get other people to come in. I don't know what he was doing. He was like contacting guests he already had booked. Anybody want to switch with Joe and come in this week? I'm like, and they're all telling him no. I'm like, Frank, you already scheduled those people. Leave them alone. Ask somebody else. Contact the musician you don't even know. Doesn't have to be people you know. And of course, he got nowhere. So then I reached out to. A week ago, I had reached out to. Are you familiar with the band Genesis?
Phil Collins?
Phil Collins. Thank you, Mike.
Sure.
There's a Genesis tribute band here on Long Island who I had contacted like a week ago about coming in sometime.
Wow.
So they happened to call me yesterday afternoon. And I said, hey, you guys available Thursday? Because they have a gig not this week, the following Thursday or Friday at the Warehouse in Amityville. So go there. So they wanted to come in before that to promote. So I said, hey, I had a cancellation for Thursday. You want to come in? And they were like, oh, that sounds great. I'm like, all right, I'll send you all the info. We get off the phone 5 minutes later. Sorry, Thursday won't work. I'm like, motherfucker. So they're coming in Monday, by the way. So then what I did, I contacted an old friend. And I said, how would you like to do the show on Thursday? And he said, I would actually love to. an old friend of this show, a man who's become a friend of mine. It's been a couple of years since he's done the show, so I'm very excited about it. He's not going to be here, and he doesn't want to Zoom. He's just going to be on the phone, but it'll still be fun. Our old friend Mark White of the Spin Doctors.
Wow.
Will be on the phone with me and Frank tomorrow. Mark has been in here several times with us. He's been on the show many times. He's become a good friend. So I'm looking forward to that. It's been a few years since he's done the show. I have no doubt he's going to make fun of me for breaking up with Sally because he loved Sally. But and he loved Eric too. Eric's been gone for years at this. In fact, Sally has been at this point too. But he's going to pick on me. But I'll pick on him for getting thrown out of the Spin Doctors. So it'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun.
That's kind of worse.
Yeah, I'm going to say that's worse.
Yeah,
absolutely. Although he's got a really hot wife, so that makes up a few points.
Oh, does he?
Oh yeah, red hair.
Oh, red hair.
I love red. Yeah, she's stunning, and she's cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Speaking of
nice.
cool, my father, when he was in business, his partner was married to a redhead, and they fought all the time. And he said, "Excuse my language, but I have to quote him verbatim."
Okay.
His name was Jimmy, and he says, "Michael, do yourself a favor. Don't ever marry a redheaded fucking broad because they're absolutely insane."
Really?
So I said, "Can you?" I was always the same. I always wanted to make logic of it. What do you mean? You think their DNA is different? He goes, "I don't know what the hell it is, but do not marry a redheaded woman."
See, now there you go. Well, all right. No, you're right. Redheaded woman, because before you said redhead broad, so that would be like a nickname. That's lazy.
You got me, you son of a bitch.
Now go ahead. Is this a segue into Bruce Springsteen's Redheaded Woman?
No,
sing it.
It's a set.
Go.
No.
Go. Do it.
It's not even his song. He didn't write it.
Oh, is that right?
That is not right. Tom Waits wrote Redheaded Woman.
No kidding.
I taught you something about music?
Yes, you did.
No.
All these years I thought Bruce wrote it because his wife is a redhead.
No.
And talk about hot. Oh,
when she was young?
Yeah.
When she was younger in her prime? Oh my God.
Well,
yeah,
I would in her definitely young, but even I want to say about the first time I saw him was 1999, and I thought she was smoking gorgeous then.
Beautiful.
Oh yeah, I love
long
her.
legs.
Yeah, man, and she's got a sexy little strut going on.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful red hair.
We're gonna change this name of the show to Two Bald Creeps.
And one with a big thermos.
Yeah, John, you and John. No wonder you two are friends. John goes crazy over this thing. Every day he'll comment, "I need to see the thermos."
Well, that's his generation. That's what they used to.
What,
I don't know.
They would just stand on the street and drink out of a fire hydrant. Is that what you're saying?
I'd like to know. I know you're a big water drinker, but did you fill that from the tap?
Well, in my kitchen, I have a filter on the tap.
Oh.
So
you have a fancy home.
Right. I have a bidet and I have a water filter.
Oh, you have a bidet?
Oh, I love the bidet.
Oh.
Love the bidet.
I used it once. I got kind of freaked out.
Really?
Yeah.
I figured you'd like it.
Well, because it was cold water.
It is cold. I'll give you. Yeah, the first time I was, whoa!
Yeah.
Plus, I put you don't have to really put it on because there's speeds. It's various speeds.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so at least I find that all I have to do is just turn it on a little bit. Because if I go too far, man, boom, it's like a laser beam. I'm like, ow!
Oh, I thought you would have liked that.
Well, depends where it hits me. No, I love the bidet. Sally and I got one during COVID when we thought we'd never have toilet paper again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So we're like, screw it, let's get a bidet. And oh yeah, it's
the portable one that goes on the existing commode.
Correct. Well, I guess it would be portable. I mean, you have to hook it up to the plumbing and stuff, so it's not. Totally
but it went
portable.
on the original toilet.
Yes.
It wasn't a separate commode.
Correct. Yeah, you just hook it up to the toilet.
Wow.
So then after Sally and I broke up, and I was bouncing around for a while, but then when Lisa and I moved back in together, that was one of the first things I did. I ordered a bidet.
Oh, really?
Hooked it up, yep.
Oh, so Sally got custody of the bidet.
Sally got custody of the bidet. And, yeah, she pays me bidet support.
Well, that is traumatic when you lose something like that.
It is.
Some people are more brokenhearted losing a bidet than a kid.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
And by the way, thanks to Andy Pajanos, he's the one that actually suggested us getting a bidet way back Yeah, a few years ago. It was him that suggested it. Why, I don't remember, but how we got into that, I have no idea.
Sorry, Andy, but you must like anal play.
All right, so let's see. So Vicky, hi, Vicky. Vicky says she thinks you haven't been on the show because you were in jail.
Oh. Okay.
Jeff Bosey's watching. He says, wait, why are you in on Wednesdays? Jeff, I've been talking about it for weeks now, that I'm back on Wednesdays. We're back to 5 days a week as of this week. This is our first Wednesday back in a few years. We're now on 5 days a week again. Don Silla's watching. Will Mark have his puppet? What? Mark?
Is he saying Mike or Mark?
Well, he wrote Mark. Did he mean Mike? Do you have a puppet?
No.
Will Mark have his puppet?
Is that an inside joke?
If it is, I'm not getting it. I'm sorry, Don. I don't know what that means.
The Don.
Maybe John Rusiello should show up tomorrow, says Mickey Delaney. If he wasn't in Florida, maybe he would. Kelpie, good morning, you redheaded bitches. Johnny Filardo, I can confirm redheads are cray-cray. Really?
Oh, wow.
Tell us more, John. Why do you tell us that? What? Kelpie says, rain dog with red hair.
Huh?
Rain dog with red hair.
Is that the name of a band?
I don't know. John Rusiello thinks you haven't been here because you've been organizing the Columbia riots.
I like that one.
Vicky, I was crazier when I had red hair versus now with purple hair.
He's always got to bring up the Jew thing, doesn't he?
What?
Nothing.
The Jew thing? Columbia?
The Jewish thing.
Oh, right.
Aren't you up on current events? Don't you read comic books?
Exactly. I wish I read more of them instead of current events. Kelpie, my dad is redhead and I got mad trauma.
Oh.
Fremder, the thermos looks like a Star Wars droid. R2 drink you.
That's pretty funny.
My bidet has a remote. I guess that would come in handy in case I had to use it while I was on my couch. Bidet, I come and we want to go home. Oh, that was awful. Platano, sorry, I like being clean. No, keep walking around with poop all over your anus. See, now, why do you have to get mean like that, Andy? I said that you gave us the idea. I didn't say anything bad about you or the idea.
You gave him props.
Right, I was giving you props. Take it off my leg. That's how I'll get your poop. I'm going to shove my leg up your ass. Last time Mark was on, he had that weird puppet, says Don. But Mark, this is Mike. Is your autocorrect changing it to Mark? But Mark who? Oh, Mark White. Oh, it just all hit me. You're right. You're absolutely right, Don. I'm so sorry. So comedian Josh Schaefer, it's a weird story. This guy, Josh Schaefer, who's been a regular on the show. It's been a while since we've seen him, but he came up to me one day. He's very Mark White from the Spin Doctors is very he's very political, and he's very conservative.
Okay.
Josh Schaefer is to the left. He's liberal. So he suggested one day that him and Mark do a show together, and they can go back and forth. I'm like, oh, all right, that's great. Let's do it. So we work out a schedule. It's not on here. It's, we set it up. It was a nighttime thing, like 7 o'clock on a Wednesday, let's say.
Yeah.
So we're about to start the show, and he's like, what do you got planned? I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, what do you got planned? Like, what political topics are we covering? I said, why are you asking me? He goes, it's your show. I go, my show's at 11 a.m. every morning. I said, what do you mean this is my show? He goes, well, it's not mine. I go, you're the one who asked to do it. I said, right. I assumed that you and Mark had it all worked out, what you guys were going to do.
Sure.
He goes, no, I haven't talked to him. I'm like, what the flying fuck?
Oh, my God.
And this is literally like a minute before we're going on the air.
Are you serious?
So I'm like, son of a bitch. So we start the show. I put myself on camera, and I'm like, all right, I guess I'm the mediator. But I tried to dump it on him, and it wasn't really working. And I set up Zoom, and again, just before we go on, I set up Zoom. Mark White's got a puppet on the camera, not his own face. You can't even see him. just got a puppet. So I go, Mark. At first I'm laughing, but then after we go on the air and it's still a puppet. I go, Mark. I'm thinking in my head, enough with the puppet. Can we just see? And he goes, no. And he goes, I don't.
What kind of puppet was it?
I don't even know. It was like some big, giant, yellow, hairy thing. I don't even remember. It wasn't anything like a famous. It was nothing I recognized.
Right.
I don't know if it was something he made or I have no idea.
It wasn't like Lamb Chop or anything.
No, or Kermit. No, nothing.
Kermit, yeah.
It was, like I said, nothing I recognized. But he refused to come on camera. So he's having some political debate with this guy Josh Schaefer. But when he spoke, he moved the puppet's mouth. Never showed his. We did a half hour. He never showed his face on camera. Never. I was like this, and I tried a couple times to get them to like spar off and maybe go at each other.
Yeah.
They went at each other for maybe 2 minutes, and about halfway through, they're like, "Oh no, we like each other. We're friends. Let's agree to disagree." Like, okay, that's the way it should be. Peacefully agree to disagree.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we still have at least 15 minutes left of this damn show. Are you guys gonna fight and give us something good? Like,
yeah.
What are we? So and that was the show. And so my apologies, Don. I think I blacked that night out in my head, but that's what happened that night. And yeah, that he might be right. That might be the last time Mark White was on any of the shows on here.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the last time. Was it the last time you spoke to him?
No.
Have you asked him what was with the puppet?
He just doesn't like Zoom. He doesn't like tomorrow. I said to him, I'm going to set it because he lives in Texas.
Okay.
And lately, actually, him and his wife have been they've been going on road trips. I'm not even sure if he's in Texas right now. He's been posting that he's been traveling around different. This guy loves to drive. He'll drive. He'll think nothing of driving from Texas to Maine. Like he doesn't care. He loves driving.
Does he still perform?
He's not with the Spin Doctors.
Right.
They threw him out because when we were coming out of COVID, Mark refused to get vaccinated, and he thought he didn't see the purpose in the masks. The band said, "Well, we want to work and we want to get paid."
Yeah.
And they thought he was like a threat since he wasn't vaccinated. So we're moving on.
Wow.
And it was a bad Mark was all over social media tearing these guys up, and then and then he came on here. And we spent a good half hour just talking about what happened, like how his conversations with them went and stuff. Like he wasn't that bad. He really didn't motherfuck them that bad.
Right.
But he was a gentleman about it. But yeah, he came on and talked about it.
That might be the funniest thing I ever heard, though. So a political debate via Zoom, I take it.
Yeah,
with a
puppet. Yeah. So yeah,
if you have the recording, you should. That would be amazing.
Oh, it's out there. It's on YouTube somewhere.
Wow.
Part of Gov's Comedy Club podcast. Yeah, I never took it down. We did it live, and yeah, it's still out there somewhere, so you can find it. Mark's a funny guy. He picks on us quite a lot, and thankfully he doesn't. He doesn't judge his friends by their political affiliation, because I do feel I'm kind of like. I feel like I'm really kind of like 50-50.
Maybe that's why we get along. So I'm the same way.
Yeah. I do feel the current climate. I do feel liberals have gone a little too far with things.
And I feel the same way about the right wing.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. Like, having said that about liberals, I personally don't feel Donald Trump is the answer to that. So. My vote's probably going to Kennedy this year. That's where I think I'm headed. But anyway, but yeah, Mark's a lot of fun. He has when he's in the area. He has come in here several times. I think.
How old of a guy is he?
Mark is 57 or 8.
Oh, okay.
I forget. Yeah,
so
something like that.
Young guy. Okay.
Yeah, has had a lot of success. The Spin Doctors in the '90s were huge.
Oh, huge.
And I think he's basically just living off that Two Princes song. Like I think he's been able to just have a good life off that. He left.
He plays the guitar?
He's the bass player.
He's the bass player.
He left the band in 96, if I remember right, 96, 97. And then they all, I think it might be 99 maybe. Yeah, somewhere around. Late 90s, he left the band. By the early 2000s, the band was totally dead, but then in 2005, I think it was, they reunited. And they stayed together until, I mean, they're still out there, but they're just doing it without Mark now. So it's the original band, except Mark. In fact, the guy that they have now playing bass for them is Little Steven's bass player when he does his solo thing. The Souls of Disciples.
The Disciples of
Disciples of Soul.
Really?
He's Jack Daly is his name.
Jack Daly.
Yeah,
They're a pretty good band.
They're a great band. I love the last 2 albums they've done.
Yeah.
I thought they were fantastic.
Yeah.
Jack Daly, his big breakthrough, he was Lenny Kravitz's original bass player.
Wow.
Yeah, that's where he came.
So he's
came
a
from.
talented bass player.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Oh. So Kelpie, we're not getting any of these jokes today. So Kelpie says Tom Waits Rain Dog. So I think she's saying that Tom Waits has a song, Rain Dog. I don't know. Kelpie, I'm surprised you even know who Tom Waits is. Andy Plajanos, if you stick your leg up my butt, don't be surprised if it comes out cleaner than when it went in. Right, because your butthole is so big that you're able to clean it regularly. Right, Don. The entire show he had a puppet on the screen, right. Hello, Carol Miner. Good to see you.
Carol Miner.
Oh, Don said he posted the link to see the puppet.
I'm gonna watch it later.
Yeah, I don't see it. I'm on all messages, so don't yell at me for that. I don't see it, but I believe you. Let's see.
Oh, I like what Carol wrote.
Carol, yes, I feel the same way about the political situation, especially now being a Jewish woman living in Texas. Yeah, I'm surprised they let you in. What is happening and being allowed in this country under the guise of free speech is crazy. Yeah, I'm going to agree. Andrew Fremder, Jack Daly. That's not how you spell his last name, but I never put it that way. Kelpie says, sorry, I'm cultured. Nothing to be sorry about. It's one of the reasons why I love you. John Rusiello, I just realized you wore that same shirt the last time you were on the show. Is that right?
No, listen, I don't question him very often. I mean, I go at him and I bust his balls a lot, but he may be right. And you know what?
Well, you may be crazy.
No,
you see what I did? You may be right. You may be crazy, but you just may be a lunatic. See that reference? I got.
No, why he thinks because he's not on social media.
He's
that
not.
Picture you posted this morning, which is very funny. I think I'm in that shirt, and I'm like looking at my phone, and you're like, like, why is this guy here?
Right.
I may have been wearing this particular type of garment.
And the same blue shirt underneath?
No, I had a turtleneck.
Oh, all right. Wow. See, but that worries me that John would pick up on that.
Oh, no, that doesn't surprise me. John has a memory like an elephant.
Well, and again, I guess that's what he was paid for. He was the excellent detective he was.
I actually think he was probably born that way.
All right.
Obviously, he was trained by great people, but...
Yeah. And same with Plajanos. When he worked in the Navy and stuff, like if he was standing where the camera is, he can read this. Like they train him to read upside down and stuff.
Well, I could read upside down, but not that far.
All right. What's the first?
I don't have my glasses.
Big talker. I can read it. I don't have my glasses. Why not?
Do you know I could write left-handed backwards? I don't know if that's a real gift or anything.
A friend of mine. Do you know who Sheila E. is?
Oh, the stand-up drummer lady.
Yes, the stand-up drummer lady. She tells jokes while she's drumming.
Yeah.
Yeah, she played with Prince.
I didn't mean it that way. I mean,
I know you didn't. That's why I made fun of
you.
Sorry.
Sorry.
A friend of mine met her somewhere and said, "Oh, Tony would probably get a kick out of this. Let me get him an autograph." And that's exactly what she did. She used her left hand and wrote it backwards. Tony, or for you guys, it would be T-O.
Really?
Yeah. She wrote it's totally backwards. You have to hold it up to a mirror to read it.
That's pretty cool.
And she claimed to my friend who got it for me that that's how she normally writes. Why? I have no idea. But that's how she normally writes when people ask her to write something.
Wow.
So, yeah, it would be totally, on this piece of paper going this way.
That's how I write lefty.
So you're writing a word backwards too, then?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't.
You don't normally do that. You just
No.
You were trained to do it, or you taught yourself how to do
I
that?
taught myself how to do it. When I was in Iraq, sometimes it's almost like prison time when you're in a combat zone. You have to keep your mind going. So one time I was at work and I can write with both hands. So I was just fooling around and I wrote my name backwards, Lefty. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty good. So I just started writing some things lefty backwards.
Last week,
put on the spot.
I had Chris Thomas in here. She wrote, oh no, I brought it home. She wrote, we put a piece of paper on the floor. I moved the camera. She wrote, I love Tony Walker with her foot. It was awesome.
Wow.
I love Chris Thomas. It was awesome.
Chris Thomas is a woman?
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh,
So she,
yes.
Did she use her...
Sorry. The hell is that?
That's my signature, Lefty, backwards. You want me to do it in print so you can see it, you dumb ape?
Yeah. You dumb ape. See, it's taking you some thought there.
The E messed me. I haven't done this in a long time.
I don't think I've ever tried that. Would you? Oh, okay. All right, that's better. That I can at least figure it out.
Oh, I'm getting... Oh.
All right, let me see if I can do it. I don't think I've ever done this.
I bet you could do it.
Did you try to stab me just now?
I did.
Oh. All right, let me see. I don't think I've ever tried.
I bet you could do it.
So
I'll give you 2-to-1 odds.
See, all right, but now, if you're writing it backwards, shouldn't it be Kaplan D. Michael? So that way, if I held it in front of a mirror, it would look.
No, this is not Japanese. Because they write
right.
left to right.
All right. Well, all right. So T is the same. O is the same. Oh, that's easy.
Oh, but you're using your predominant hand.
Oh, you're right. Okay. All right.
I'm not left. I'm not my left. I'm righty.
Yeah.
But I can use my left hand.
Yeah, this is going to be a mess. T.
Not bad.
No, it's bad.
You kind of have an easy name though. You should write Anthony.
All right. A.
Not bad.
N.
Ooh.
T. H.
Look at you. You do it better than me.
Whoops! I screwed that one up. Y.
That's a regular Y, but I'll yeah, it's okay.
No, it's not. I guess it kind of is. W. A. L. K.
What was that A? It looks like a Lego.
Oh, I did the E the right way.
Yeah, the E's will fuck you up a little bit.
Well, all right. The R, my pen slipped.
That's not bad.
It's
my
bad.
5-year-old writes. My 5-year-old granddaughter writes like that. So you see how it takes some time to teach yourself something like that.
Yeah, but why would you want to teach it? Like, I have no desire to ever do that again.
Now that you told me the Sheila E. story, now it has all come to volition. Now, if
it's come to what?
Volition.
Oh,
you never heard of that?
I have. I just
if I'm gonna go home.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do it really nice, and then hold it in front of a mirror.
Yeah.
And they'll show Trish, and I might get lucky.
Is that what does it for Trish? Because this is what I call a waste of time.
I think it's very entertaining.
Oh, all right.
No, right. Crickets.
Yeah. I should have put that on while we were doing it. All right, let's see. Kelpie, I think I do know the song. I do. I think I really do. Honest. Andy says he doesn't think YouTube allows links to be posted. That's why I couldn't find Don's thing.
Road. Stop the bullshit. You're dyslexic.
What does this say? Stop the bullshit. You're dyslexic. It's not the only thing Mike does with both hands there, John. Carolyn.
How do you know?
Yeah, well. That's what you're famous for. Carol and Johnny are saying hi to each other. Political Mark Whitehouse. Musicians can be political, but there's no reason to be a base about it. One day Mark was here, and we went out to lunch after the show. And Mark drives all these fancy sports cars.
Yeah.
So we were leaving, and Sally wanted a ride in the sports car.
Yeah.
She wanted to check it out. So So they're going off. They're walking through the parking lot to his car. His license plate, BASSMAN.
Okay.
Because he's, plays for the Spin Doctors.
Yeah.
Sally looks at it and she goes, "Oh, I didn't know you like fishing."
I would have fell to the ground.
Oh, and I practically did. I was in
Did
tears.
she say it as a joke?
No.
Or she was like, for real?
Totally for real. Totally for real.
Oh, I would have died.
Totally for real.
Wow. And she knew that he played the bass.
Right. And that's why he looked at me. Mark just kind of looked at him. And then she immediately realized what she did. Yeah. That was very funny. And embarrassing.
That's a classic.
Yeah, it was funny.
That's a classic.
Yeah. Can you read it, Tony, or do Andrew have to read it to you? What? Fremder, sometimes I read things backwards, and when I write, I do it from right to left, not because I'm dyslexic, but because I'm a Jew. Oh, jeez.
Maybe that's why I do it, because my father was Jewish.
All right. Gina's confused. All right, so Gina didn't know either. Gina, we're back to Wednesdays. This is the first week. We're back to 5 days a week on this show.
It's me?
That's Gina, my friend Gina.
Oh, okay.
And now you know why, because there's important stuff to do on Wednesdays, like write our name backwards.
That is very important.
Sure.
Now, what if someone said, you know what, I'm going to try that, and they become a brilliant writer writing it backwards. Imagine writing a book backwards like that.
You think writing it backwards makes it that much more brilliant, or you think somebody's going to become brilliant because they're writing backwards?
No, I think what?
Right.
Wrong.
If they're writing a brilliant book, they write a brilliant book. It doesn't matter which way you write it.
Yeah, but if you write a brilliant story backwards like that, it's all the more interesting because then you have to use both sides of your brain. I may be talking out of my ass right now, but I think I'm right. Because the Japanese write? They write from right to left, correct?
I think so.
Yeah. Why are you randomly hitting buttons?
I turned my mic off when I took the drink.
Oh, I understand.
And yours I left on. Brendan Burt says he's dyslexic. Do you write backwards, or do you, when you read God, do you see dog? Like what? Like, I'm not following you. I don't understand how being able to write right to left will make a brilliant book.
Let me ask you something.
You read a book not in the person's handwriting. You read the book typed out. So a brilliant book is a brilliant book. What's the difference on how you wrote it? Whether you wrote it left to right to left, or you typed it, or you transcribed it, or you told it to somebody over the phone?
First of all, I don't know why you're hollering at me.
I didn't mean to. I was actually thinking that as I'm talking. I'm like, I'm getting kind of loud.
The Japanese write left to right.
Correct.
Right?
Sure.
So they read it that way.
Yeah.
How about we teach ourselves how to write that way and read that way? Why does it have to be left to right?
Why does it have to be? I have no idea. But since we are trained to do that way, why do we have to now unlearn
we're
that?
supposed to be learning new things, aren't we?
I think, all right, I'll give you that. But I do think, I would rather figure out a way to communicate with animals than learn to read.
I think there are brilliant
right to
people that know how to communicate with animals.
So sometimes you do hear, but like a common, regular way, like every
like a real common way.
Every slob that owns a dog would be able to do it.
Yeah,
like it becomes common practice, like reading left to right,
like sign language or something.
Sure.
Yeah.
My dog is very vocal. He all the time, and we laugh in the house all the time. He's so yesterday I looked at him like, Dada! Like I tried to say it like a dog would. I was going like he does, like that, and he just.
What kind of dog is he?
He's a mixture of a beagle and a basset.
He's a basshole.
He is a pain in the ass, this thing.
Why? Because he mumbles a lot?
No, he's got. This dog has endless energy, 24/7.
Are you serious?
And and that's fine if you have all that energy. Go run around in the backyard, but he also commands attention 24/7.
I see. So he's always
and when he's
jumping
not
on you.
getting it, he'll sit there and whine. The worst, like when I have the cast over for rehearsal for the Murder Mysteries, because we go down in the basement and he's upstairs. He won't come into the basement. I don't know why. He'll go upstairs to the second floor. He'll go up and down those stairs all day long. Something about the basement, he won't go down there.
Oh, there's spirits down there.
Oh, that could be.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with. I'll hang out with the spirits because this dog's a pain in the ass. But he'll sit at the top of the stairs.
What if you carried him down?
Yeah, he'll hang out down there.
Oh, he would.
Yeah, but then he'll be jumping all over everybody. Like
he's that friendly.
Oh, he doesn't stop. So Sal, you know Sal.
Yeah.
My friend Sal, he is a big dog lover. He's like a dog whisperer. He loves dogs. So it's like the first or second time he came over, and yeah, Petey's jumping all over him, and it was about. He's there for and at first, of course, Sal's loving it and going and playing. About 20 minutes in, Sal's like, all right. He goes, I'm going to sit and relax now. He goes, but the dog is all over him. He goes, once he sees I'm relaxing, he's going to calm down too. I said, no, Sal, he won't. Sal was over for 3 hours that day. The dog wouldn't stop the whole 3 hours. And Sal said it as he's leaving. He's like, yeah, you were right. This dog won't leave me alone. He's like this all the time. He drives me crazy.
He won't. If you're watching a Met game, he just won't curl up you on the couch and hang out.
He will after a while, but he'll stay there maybe 2 minutes tops, and then he's got to get up and start roaming again and jumping around and it's the only time is at night when all the lights are out and everybody's in bed. He'll go to sleep, but the second you let him out of his cage and he is on the go all day long.
Maybe get rid of the cage.
Can't because he's a chewer.
Oh, he's a chewer.
He chewed on a chunk of the wall before we got the cage. Chewed on a chunk of the wall. Lisa actually, because I wasn't home, she didn't waste any time. She got a little tub of spackle.
Oh, she fixed it?
And she fixed it.
Wow.
The next day, he chewed the spackle. It wasn't even dry. He chewed that, and then I got worried. I was like, is chewing up spackle going to kill him?
Yeah.
But he was fine.
Toxic,
he chewed the spackle. He ate the spackle. We had the exact same hole was left.
I'm not a vet, but I know because I had a dog that chewed. That's anxiety.
I said to Lisa, one, we should either get a second dog so somebody to play with and he'll calm down. Two, we get him on meds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
what's the anxiety you feel?
I don't know. Barbara and I had that little dog, and he was a chewer.
Yeah.
And he's on adult Xanax.
And it worked?
Yeah.
I actually, I'm going to the pet store later to get some stuff, and I was actually thinking about asking somebody.
If you talk to your vet about it next time, you should.
Brennan Bird says, yes. Initially, yes, I have been taught to adjust. Fremder, I'm actually very dyslexic. The last time I had an emergency, nobody showed up because I dialed 119.
That's funny as fuck.
Where is everybody? I called, look. Vicky, Beryl and my kids are all dyslexic in some form. Beryl sees more of the white parts of the letters than the letters themselves. Excuse me. The words jump around for my oldest. I didn't even know there were different forms of dyslexia. I just thought it was all backwards.
So did I.
Wow, I had no idea. There are people that could communicate with animals. They'd be called cops. You need to get the dog a martingale collar. And when you are relaxing, put on with leash and keep him in one spot. Give small tug correction and tell him no and put in sit or down position. We've done that. Gina, and it didn't work. It does. Well, I take that back. It works. He'll sit. You tell him to stop. He'll stop and sit. But then as soon as you go back to what you're doing, he's up again.
How old is he, Tony?
He'll be 3.
Oh, he's a young dog.
Our next door neighbor has 2 dogs, and our dog, thankfully, he's not a barker. Thank God, he doesn't really bark a lot. So when they have their 2 dogs out, and my guy is out, they'll go to the fence, and it's a wooden fence, but they can still see each other, through the slats. My dog just sits there with the tail wagging, he's just looking at them. But those 2 dogs bark their asses off. My neighbor gets all pissed off. I'm like, don't worry about it. It doesn't bother me. Maybe it bothers you, but
Yeah.
I'm not bringing my dog in just because their dogs are barking.
No, screw that.
I have done that once or twice just to be nice. But so then, in fact, we talked about it yesterday on the show. Monday afternoon, we had to meet in person for the first time, and it went well. So I don't forget why. They have on their dogs. It's a collar, and they have a remote that can.
That zaps them.
Well, it zaps them, but it has a few different functions. They said they rarely ever zap them. It's only when they feel like nothing else is going to work. There's another function on there that just like like they have those tones that dogs can hear, but we can't.
Yeah.
It's just like a beep in their tone.
Oh.
And that when the dogs are not listening, they'll just hit that beep, and they immediately then come.
Is that what a Martindale collar is?
I don't know. That's why I'm bringing that up. I was going to ask if that's what that is. Because I love that idea. That's one of the reasons I was going to the pet store this afternoon. I want to check that out. After 2 weeks should be fine. Not with my dog, it wasn't. The youngest is a very phonetic speller. Okay, Vicky. Plajanos, I've seen this with dogs before. You're going to have to hump them. Hump, Petey. You don't have to enjoy it, but it helps. Only Andy would come up with that. Johnny Filardo, I'm too old and dumb to learn new things. Let's leave it left to right. Thank you, Johnny. That Hicksville education, pal. I'm with you. John Rusiello, you're communicating with an animal for the last hour.
Is he talking to me or you?
That's true. Yeah, it could be either or. Gina, for chewing, get bitter apple when he chews, and you see it at the time he is chewing, spray directly into his mouth. Tell him no. Oh, for chewing, no, we did that too. We did that. That was actually the first thing we did. And certain areas he was biting or chewing, we would spray those areas. It would work for maybe a day, and then he'd go right back to it. So God forbid you forget to see, that's part of it too. Like, I'm not going to make that part of my daily routine to spray the house down.
Walls.
No, just stop it, you little fucker.
CBD oil. Carol.
Oh yeah.
A lot of animals are on CBD oil.
Fremder, I have the worst type of dyslexia. I wipe my ass before I shit.
Oh gosh.
I can't believe I'm laughing at that.
I know.
So yeah, little CBD drops for dogs. It's maybe a sign of anxiety from him. Worth a try. Yeah, I guess that's actually not a bad idea.
Especially when you said he goes.
Yeah,
that's.
Yep.
I think that's anxiety. Maybe do it back to him.
I'm not joking. I did that back to him yesterday. He was looking at me, and he's just. He does that a lot. His mouth, his bottom half of his mouth shakes.
Oh,
So I was doing it back to him. I go, Daddy, Daddy, like that. Sammy was cracking up.
Oh, I
was praying that he was going to repeat it back to me. How awesome would that have been?
You had a recorder on at some point.
Well, it didn't matter because he didn't do it. But Johnny's right. He goes, yeah, even dogs don't want to watch the Mets, which
God.
I don't blame him. All right. Well, I have a Mets story that I want to get to, but we promised you, sir. You said you had something you want to talk about regarding comedians. So, go.
And you know, I have a very high regard for comedians. It's very hard what they do.
Yes.
But it dawned on me driving here, because I listen to Rodney Dangerfield a lot, right? There's musical acts like Big Shot, and you said there's a tribute band to Genesis.
Correct.
There's so many. Even do you know Bruce Springsteen there's a band?
Yes, there is.
Oh, Bruce in the USA. Oh, so you knew about that?
Yes, I did.
Why isn't there any comics that do that? Like being like a Rodney Dangerfield, black suit, red tie, and do that shtick. I think it's hilarious. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know.
Well, first off, you do have impersonators who will, somebody will go up on stage and do like 5 impersonations. So you have that. I think if you go to places like Vegas, I think they do have stuff like that. I don't know if it's definitely Rodney,
right?
But they do have stuff like that. where you have people.
So it's
dress
almost
up.
like a tribute comic instead of a tribute band.
Don Sill, if you're still watching, I don't know if you would recall this. So let me think for a second. Don Sill, he moved back here. He was down in North Carolina for 16 years. Came back here, I think, in 2000. So 5 years ago, he came back. Don, I don't know if you remember. I actually said to Don before he left. So Don Sill is Lisa's cousin. So I've known Don as long as I've known you. So we're talking, 20, at least 25 years.
Yeah.
Actually, a little bit more at this point. Don has always been into comedy. He's always followed it. It's got to be like 25 years since he tried it. He's always been a walking encyclopedia of the art of comedy.
Okay.
I did suggest that to him.
You did
years ago. I said, Don, the cover comic. Like you have cover bands.
Yes.
Call it the cover comic.
The cover comic. Somebody
that goes and Don pointed out, which I now know from my years here. There's nothing a comedian hates more than somebody stealing their joke.
No, I know. Yeah.
So I get that. But if you're a cover comic and you're doing material that's not out there anymore, like Rodney, like a dead comedian, like they're
someone that's passed on, someone that's dead,
right?
Yeah, died.
Why not? If you just do, in fact, the idea came to me. The idea came back to me a few years ago when Cosby got in trouble, because I'm thinking, what a shame it is that, and rightfully so, that nobody's going to go see him anymore.
Right.
He shouldn't be allowed to go out there anymore.
Yeah.
But his material, if you're able to separate the material from the person, his stuff is genius. Genius.
Yeah, brilliant.
I would love to go out there and try it myself, go out there and do the dentist bit. Or see somebody else do it.
Or the chocolate cake.
The dad is great. He make the chocolate cake. Oh, right. There's Kelpie. She says, Joan. People. Yeah, there are a lot of Joan Rivers impersonators out there. She's right about that. I worked with one once.
But I'm not talking about an impersonator.
Right. You're just talking about the material.
The material, maybe.
But you said.
I'm thinking Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah, but you said somebody go out there in the black suit and the tie, so that would be an impersonator.
But not necessarily a total impersonator. Put a little different spin on it.
Okay.
But the joke, the material stays
all right,
the
so
same.
You mentioned Big Shot. I have another friend, David Clark, who's been on this show before. He has a Billy Joel act. It's called All About Joel. He's not up there trying to be Billy Joel. He's not up there as an impersonator with the glasses and say, I'm Billy Joel. I'm going to play my songs. But he does have some mannerisms that are like him. He does dress similarly.
Yeah, that's a tough word, I know.
So that's what you're talking about? Just like kind of carrying some of the same...
the same bearing,
So it'd be like you going out there to do Rodney. You look nothing like him.
No.
But you would go out there wearing the suit and the tie.
But I would act like him.
Right.
Yeah.
But, so, all right, so you would even try to act like, hey, no respect.
Very self-deprecating humor, yes.
Right, but would you be copying the mannerisms where Rodney would always loosen his collar? And,
he was always loosening his
you would
tie
do that too? Because to me, isn't that an impersonation? Or are you just going out there and telling his jokes?
So let me ask you a question. Let me answer your question with a question.
All right.
The cover bands, the tribute bands, they're singing their music.
Right, but they're not.
Right?
But they're not pretending. Well, there are plenty of guys out there that pretend to be that artist. Like there's plenty of Beatle bands that go out there with the mop top wigs and the suits and hello everybody, we're from Liverpool. Like there's plenty of bands that do that, but then you also have Beatle bands that just go out there and play the songs and they're dressed in t-shirt and jeans and they're not trying to be Paul McCartney. They're just playing the songs. So you have both. So I'm not sure what you're.
Well, I'm glad I brought this up because now that I think about it, that you brought it up. So it couldn't be an impersonator.
Okay.
I would have to just do it, or anybody would do the material,
right?
But in their own way.
That's exactly what I'm saying with the Cosby stuff. Nobody wants to see Cosby anymore,
right?
And again, I'm right there with you, but
it is brilliant material.
Like Michael Jackson, all that shit that went down with him. People for a long time wouldn't play his music.
No, now he's got a big show on Broadway.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. See, I didn't even think of that because I was going to say people will at least listen to the music now, but they don't want to really see him. But you're right. But he's got this musical, so I guess
it's
time
very popular.
Yeah, I guess enough time has passed. Maybe in 20 years, somebody can go out there doing a Bill Cosby show. Like a black man would go out there as Bill Cosby. I don't know.
I don't know. But it would be funnier coming from a white person like you, hypothetically, if you wanted to do it, right?
I would. Bill Cosby and Billy Crystal were my two favorite stand-up comedians.
Yeah.
I actually do pray that Billy Crystal goes back to it, maybe for even if it's just a month somewhere before he dies, he does stand-up again. I loved Billy Crystal. Yeah. And Bill Cosby, I had a lot of his records. That movie, Bill Cosby himself, again, like we just said, Chocolate Cake, The Dentist, the brain damage with the kids. I mean, oh my God, it is so free. Every time I watch it, I laugh every time. He's got this classic bit about building Noah's Ark. I don't know if you've ever heard that.
I don't think I've heard that one. No.
Where it's Noah, hearing God's voice for the first time, and God, Noah's convinced this is somebody playing a trick on him, and he pulled Noah. This is God. Right. You're going to build an ark. Right, the crowd, and you hear the crowd there hysterical.
See, that's
laughing.
funny coming from you. It's his material, but coming from someone else now that they're gone, and it's not a tribute, but because Bill Cosby should be tributed, but his material it was brilliant.
Right,
I thought Rodney Dangerfield's stuff was brilliant.
There was a guy locally. Prince was his last name. Frankie Prince, I think was his first name. He did a Don Rickles thing. He kind of looked like him. He looked like him a little bit.
King of Insults.
Yes.
So we did. He did.
And he would. I'm gonna. I don't know if anybody that knew him will agree, but I'm gonna say this was an attempted impersonation, where David Clark plays Billy Joel music. Frankie Prince as Don Rickles. He was playing a part. David Clark was just playing the music. This guy is playing a part. He's dead now. He passed away a few years ago, and he was pretty good though. He had the act pretty nailed.
He did.
But I think the problem with this, and I think it would be the same now to answer your question, because in his case, Don Rickles wasn't the flavor of the month anymore. Don Rickles, died at in his late 80s, I think.
Oh, yeah.
So this guy was playing, the old folks' homes. He was playing the American Legion halls. He wasn't coming here. He wasn't selling out, and I think and that's the case too, with a lot of these tribute bands. They're not playing, like
the Gardeners.
Right. They're playing.
Unless you're Big Shot.
Right. And Big Shot is one of a handful that are playing, nice theaters.
Yeah.
Most tribute acts or cover bands, whatever you want to call them, are playing, in a park, or they're playing,
why hasn't it ever been attempted then?
That I don't know, but maybe that's why. I mean, I don't know how much of a demand there is for that. I don't know if I'd be. So let's say let's do it. I'm going to do a Bill Cosby thing. And first off, how would you even build that? How would you promote that? Because people are going to see the name and be like, maybe not. So, all right, let me change it. So what if I said I'm going to do, all right, Lenny Bruce. I'm going to do a Lenny Bruce show for an hour. But same thing. Lenny Bruce has been dead for 50 years.
Oh, a long time.
50 plus.
Yeah.
So are people, was he comedy nuts will be like, oh, that might be cool. So what? I'm going to fill maybe a quarter of the room on that. Everybody else could be like, who's that? Or they're just going to say that
it would have to be someone that was really famous. Obviously, Lenny Bruce was a very
right. But if I couldn't say I'm going to do a Sebastian Maniscalco show. He'll sue me.
Oh no, no one.
You know
living.
what I mean?
No, it couldn't be anybody living.
But that's what I'm saying. Anybody dead, I don't know how much of a crowd it would draw. I don't know. I don't know.
You tell him. Larry's in trouble.
So it's a good question. Have you thought about doing it?
Well, I watched Rodney Dangerfield videos so much, and now I'm starting to tell it to people, telling the jokes to people,
Right?
And they're like, "My God, you're hysterical," and I just love his humor, and I know a lot of people don't like it, just the one-liners,
Yeah.
My wife's such a bad cook.
How bad is she?
Oh, she's so bad. She made alphabet soup for my son, and he spelled out help. No, but the fun, where I put the twist on it, almost like Rodney Dangerfield, he'll say something and he'll go,
right. And Jackie the joke man, does the same thing. He sells it so well, and he laughs after he tells the joke that you can't help but laugh when he tells it.
Yeah.
No matter how stupid the joke is, Jackie sells it. He tells a bad joke, and he's that big smile, great laugh.
Yeah.
I mean, he sells it. They're doing the same thing, just different ways, but they're doing the same thing. It helps the effect of it. Yeah, Rodney, plenty of comedians do it. Stephen Wright, just has that face.
Oh, Stephen Wright. Oh, God.
Right.
So, can I throw one more joke at you?
Yes, of course you
Sorry.
can. No, we got plenty of time. I'm just checking everything here. We're good. We're good.
So, I was watching him with Johnny Carson. That was when he was really, really on, I thought.
Yeah.
And he goes, Johnny, I'm a bad drinker. I'm a really bad drinker. Usually when I drink too much, I wake up the next morning in a strange place with a kid rubbing my feet that has an accent.
Right, yeah.
And he's like, that happened to you?
Right. So Don Sill is saying, yeah, right. That's I forgot about that, Don. Don interviewed a guy named Roger Kabler.
Okay.
Roger Kabler looks a lot like Robin Williams. So he does a Robin Williams show, and he's got it nailed. You should. I think it's out in L.A., but you could go on YouTube and see clips. Like, he's got
He's
it
just
nailed.
as good as Robin Williams?
Just as good?
That's hard.
To be honest, I'm going to say no. But he comes pretty damn close.
He could do all the accents, the Scottish accents, all that stuff?
Yeah.
Wow.
He even sounds like him. He looks a lot, not perfect, not exactly like him, but you could probably think they're brothers. That's how much he looks like him. But Don does bring up a good point, that comedians would probably look at this as being kind of hacky. And that might, and I go back and forth with that, because I do agree. Comedians have more respect for each other. The more originality a comedian has, the more the other comedians respects that person. Like, a lot of comedians don't even like prop comics, like jugglers, because they're like, oh, you got to rely on your stuff.
Right.
They like a guy that comes up with a good premise and a real original idea. But there are a lot of comedians, too, that just say, no, I don't care what you're saying out there or what you're doing out there, as long as they're laughing. That's all I care about.
Right.
But I've seen it. I've seen, some years back, I saw a juggler here, and I saw, like, backstage how the other comedians were kind of like, it was definitely them and him. Like, there was no...
Yeah.
And I felt bad for the guy, because I did think he was funny. Brennan Burt, I am new to it, but I have to stop myself from becoming Cat Williams, as he had most influence on me. An actual cover would get me shot. Cosby's favorite bedtime Disney story is Sleeping Beauty. My wife and I were in intestinals. Cosby's joke told itself from there. Michael Jackson impersonator waved at me in Atlantic City, says Kelpie. Like hi? Or come here, little girl? Like, you're kind of freaking me out a little. In Neverland, it's time to go to bed when the big hand touches the little hand.
Who wrote that?
That was Fremder.
Oh, my God. He
Fremder.
is fucking funny. Oh, my God.
George Carlin was brilliant, would be so poignant today. All right, now that's something we can talk about in lines with what you're talking about. And we talked about it on here. I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago, some company generated through AI technology a brand new George Carlin special. and it's an animated, computer animated it's on YouTube. You hear the crowd, you see the stage, and an animated George Carlin comes out, and AI came up with material and provided his voice. So it sounds exactly like him.
New material or his old stuff?
It's new. AI came based on George Carlin, came up with new material of what they think he would say if he was alive today. And it sounds just like him. I mean, it's animated.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're like, oh my God, he's alive. So that you can tell. But if you're just listening, you would think it's him. But it's not that good.
Oh, it's not.
And his daughter freaked the fuck out, and she was suing this company that put it together. They didn't have permission; like they took it upon
they didn't
themselves.
have permission.
Yeah, but that's, I don't know if that's, the wave of the future. Like, are we going to have another another Lenny Bruce special? Like, I don't know, but is it going to be that AI technology instead of somebody going on stage and just doing the material? I don't know. John Rusiello says Howie Mandel is great. That's his whole statement. All right.
No.
When I saw the Heart tribute band, I sat in section A1C. Yeah, I affirmed her. All right, Don Sill. There's a guy who does a Lenny Bruce show in a theater in New Jersey. Oh, I didn't know that. Plajanos, that's what I want. I want people to know what I'm going to say before I'm going to say it. Genius. See, now this is why I have issues with Andy Plajanos. Why he's always got to be mean behind the keyboard. Andy, you get plenty of people that go see a comedian or a band based on stuff they've already heard. So take your sarcastic wit and shove it up your fucking mustache, you son of a bitch. I mean, we've talked about it. You talk about yourself all the time. So when you're talking about your bits, you make a reference to it. I'm like, yeah, I know that bit. Does that mean I never want to see it again? No, I think it's great. I'm going to see you. I love you, Dracula. I've seen it once. That mean I never want to see it again? No, I've seen it several times because I love it. I see Billy Joel 18 million times because I love the song. I don't sit there and say, oh, is he going to change the verse to Don't Ask Me Why? No, he's going to play the same thing. But I love it. So, yeah, I want to see it. So shut up. There was one guy who claims to channel George Carlin for 10 minutes of his act. He announces it. Forget his name. Sorry, Brendan. I've never heard that.
Can I interrupt you?
Yeah.
John Rusiello says, Mike, you should do a Jackie Mason bit.
Yeah.
When you get him on the phone.
Jackie Mason?
No. You can't. He's dead. John.
Yeah.
You should ask him to do Jackie Mason. He does a great, unbelievable Jackie Mason impersonation.
John, you've been holding out?
He has been holding out on you.
How
hilarious.
Dare you not share that with me? And all this time that you've been watching, every day almost, you call in, and you haven't done that? John, did you not see we had Jackie Mason's daughter in here a few months ago?
You did? Seriously?
Sheba Mason. She has...
Sheba?
Sheba.
Sheba, like the cat food?
Okay. I don't know.
There's a Sheba cat food.
All right, then I guess the
Don't
answer
you
would be
have
yes.
a cat at home?
I hate cats. No, I don't have a cat at home.
What'd they do to you?
They make me sick. I'm allergic.
Oh, you're
But
allergic.
no, they're weird. Like, they look at you weird, and they'll be friendly, and they'll cuddle, and then 2 seconds later, they'll look at you weird again, and go to claw your eyes out. The cats are too weird, man. I don't get them. Screw them.
All right,
Give me
I'm
a
a nice
dog.
therapist for you.
That's right. Now I feel like Andy, getting all mean.
Yeah, what are you
and
getting all mean
judgmental.
for? This is supposed to be nice and happy.
Yes, Sheba Mason. She does her own stand-up, and she also...
She does?
Yeah, and she also has a show about her father.
She funny?
Yeah, I think she's funny.
She has the Jewish accent like him?
No.
No.
There's nothing about her that says, "Oh, that's got to be his daughter."
Oh, really?
No, there's not. No, you'd have to actually ask. So, oh, Mason, like Jackie Mason? She goes, "Yeah, that's my dad." Now, Charles Grodin, his daughter is a stand-up comedian.
Oh.
She was on this show years ago. I think we were just on for a few months. We got her on the phone once. She kind of resembles her father a little bit. Like that, you look at her and be like, oh, yeah, that's got to be his daughter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's great. Yeah, I like her a lot, actually.
How old is Jackie Mason's daughter? She's got to be our age.
She's, I don't know, maybe, 30s. late 30s, maybe early 40s, maybe.
Jackie Mason's kid, because he died when he was like 116, I think.
Okay, right. So maybe he had her when he was 75. Yeah, I do think he had her a little late in life. I think.
Yeah.
Don't hold me to that. Also, Mom's Mabley Show 2, says Don. Mom's. I don't know what's a Mom's Mabley Show. I don't know what that is, Don. My apologies.
I know it's a comedy show, but
yeah?
I don't know what it is exactly.
Johnny Filato, Noah's Ark bit is brilliant. I have all those old albums. Yeah, I have a lot of that stuff too, and it's genius, and it's I don't know. I do think it's a shame that sometimes that stuff dies off. Cable said that Robin Williams takes over when he's on the stage. Yes, I've heard him say that. Like he actually feels like he's channeling Robin Williams.
Oh, really?
Richard Pryor's comedy career blew up in his car. Kelpie, how many writing and songwriting are two totally different genres? And I do not think that you should present an already written as your own. You have to give credit. It's not like covering a song. So you're saying if someone's going to go out there as a cover comic, they should say, Kelpie coming out doing the best of Lenny Bruce. Like it should say something like that.
Why is there and I respect what he's saying.
Kelpie's a girl.
I'm sorry, Kelpie. I understand, but Mike Del Judas, whatever his name is.
Yeah, that's his name.
He sings a Billy Joel song. Why can't someone else do a comics material?
Well, but Del Judas, I mean, he doesn't call it Big Shot anymore, but he rose to...
he doesn't?
No, it's just Michael Del Judas.
Oh.
Michael, not Mike.
Michael.
But he does... his climb to fame was under the Big Shot name. The Big Shot name tells you this is a Billy Joel thing. He's known as the Billy Joel guy. So he's not going out there claiming or trying to make you think that these songs are his. And so I agree in that sense. If a comic is going to go out there and do somebody else's material, then it should be advertised that way.
Yeah, like just hypothetically, if I want to do Jackie Mason or Rodney Dangerfield, it's almost like a tribute.
Right. And I will disagree with Kelpie. Like I said before, I a lot of people like a band. When you see a band, you know those songs. That's why you like them, and those are songs you want to hear. I do think that's the same with comedy. Joey Cola. I mean, I've seen it with Joey Cola. Half of his audience are people that are probably in the double digits in the amount of times that they've seen him.
Yeah.
And Joey still does bits that's 30 years old because it still hits, just like it did 30 years ago. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking Joey. He still does new bits, too. I'm not saying he doesn't do anything new. In fact, Rodney, the last 25 years of his life was the same show, the same act.
Oh, so many times I was watching videos of Johnny Carson.
Right.
It's very repetitive. Yes.
That's why Fremder repeats his jokes on here all the time. But it's true. People know a lot of the jokes that are coming, but that's why they're here.
Wrap it up, will you?
It's like the golden rule of comedy, and I understand that. I've seen that.
I do understand that as well. I do.
I'm just disagreeing that it shouldn't be done, but I am agreeing that as long as everybody knows that it's somebody else's material that you're doing.
Oh, absolutely, and you're right. It would have to be someone exactly.
Oh, Don says that he heard the Carlin special wasn't all AI. The guys at Dudesy wrote those, but had Carlin AI voice and likeness do the jokes. All right, my point's still the same, though. It's not Carlin, and you're ripping off a dead man.
Especially they didn't even ask permission, but that's...
Right. And it's not like, again, the comparison of music, it's not like the Beatles who took recordings that Lennon made before he died and never released, and then the Beatles, added music to it and instruments to it and finished it.
Right.
It's not like that. It's not like the Beatles took a song written by somebody else and said, look what we did. That's what these Carlin guys did. Like these aren't jokes that Carlin wrote and never used. This has nothing to do with Carlin. They just took his likeness. Fremder, Andrew Complanos. That's what I'm going to call him on Friday.
Oh, that's funny.
Don Sills. Sheba does a sort of tribute show for her dad too. Very weird. Yeah, but she has that show, but she also does her own stuff. and plus she's the daughter. She has the right. Usually the children of these people, like they're just the ones, like
they have a little more license.
It's like an unofficial rule, like it's yours to take now and make a living out of it. All right, Plagianos is going to complain some more. I wrote my material. You saw me do my material. If someone else did it, it would be hacky and derivative. If that's what you want, great. Don't expect much success or respect. All right, but again, with the music, though, I don't see a difference. And if a band is going to go out there and do Beatles songs, how is that different from a guy going out there to tell known jokes?
And that's my only point. If someone, someone that was really funny, that had great material.
And I'm not disagreeing, Andy. It should be known that it's
Yeah, I
first
agree
off,
too, yeah.
nobody's ever going to do an Andy Plagiano show. I'm just telling you that now. But if I went out, if I'm going to cover somebody, again, I'm just going to stick with Cosby because that's who we've been talking about. If I was going to do this and be a cover comic, it would say Tony Walker presents the best of Bill Cosby. Like I'm not going out there.
Yeah.
It's not just a Tony Walker show, and here I am all of a sudden doing somebody else's material, live or dead. I agree. That's bad form. It's bullshit. But if you're presenting it as the best of this person who's not, again, just like seeing the Beatles. The Beatles broke up in 1970. So nobody...
In fact, I would go so far as I wouldn't even put my name or anybody's name. There's a man...
A night of Bill Cosby comedy?
Yeah, something like that. Told by someone that knows good comic timing and all that stuff.
You gonna fit all that on a flyer? I think it's easier just Mike Kaplan presents a night of Cosby comedy. Presented by someone who's 5'8", wears the same shirt every time he's on the show, lives in Suffolk County, has 3 grandchildren.
5'5", but I'm not saying anything.
5'5"? That's it? No.
What do you mean that's it?
You're short.
Are you making fun of dwarfs now?
Don Sill, Jackie Mason had her late, and basically denied he was her father for years and years. Wow. Mom is a groundbreaking comedian. Oh, the Mom's, what was it called? Mom's Melody? What was it? Mom's Mabley? Groundbreaking comedian from the 50s and 60s. Oh, maybe I'd have to see her face. I'll look. Don Sill, I like tributes, but not doing people's bits without context. Right, which has been my point this whole time. That's
What do you
exactly
mean without context?
like saying, like, basically not. He doesn't like if you go out there to pretend it's your own.
Oh no, you can't do that. Absolutely not.
Agree with Carlin points. Some guys did a comedy routine using Tom Brady and almost got sued. Some guys did a comedy routine using Tom Brady.
Oh.
What does that mean? Like Tom Brady was using like these guys wrote it and Brady performed it? Or did Tom Brady write it? I didn't follow that, Don. Sorry. Kaplan, you forget I told you about Mason's daughter years ago.
That. Yes.
A night of Bill Cosby's comedy. No cameras, no phones,
John.
and never let you drink out of your sight. Well, yeah, a night of Cosby is a whole different meaning. Yeah. All right. All right. This actually being a cool conversation there, Michael. Nice job bringing that up.
Thank you. Maybe.
All right. It's 12:26. All right. I'm going to do one last thing, and then we're going to go. Rotten Tomatoes put out their list of the 10 best films of all time.
All time?
Yeah. The Dudesy.
Well, how long has Rotten Tomatoes been around?
Yeah, I have no idea. Dudesy guys used Tom Brady AI and did a comedy special without his consent. I wasn't aware of that. And they should get sued. Absolutely should get sued. Now, fine, if I'm going to do a Bill Cosby show and he wants money, I mean, again, bands do that. Some bands do that. Like my buddy Elio over there in England doing a Billy Joel show. Elio, he has paid for the licensing to be able to do these songs. So Billy Joel, believe it or not, has made money off Elio Pace. If the Cosby family or if the Richard Pryor estate, the George Carlin estate, if they want to, I think they have every right to get money. If you went out there tonight and did a Carlin thing, yeah, maybe you should kick back to the Carlin family. I got no problem with that. And then it would be actually kind of cool if the Carlin family said, yeah, Mike Kaplan is our official guy. He's carrying the torch. That would be kind of cool.
And it also lets the legacy live on.
Right. And that's what I said a few minutes ago. It's a shame that the art, the material, has to die off with the person. I mean, fine, you can go back and watch films and stuff, but I think I think people personally would enjoy going to see it live. I'm not saying you'd be selling out Madison Square Garden.
No. I know.
But I think you can get maybe 50, 60 in the Giggle Room to see a night of George Carlin material. Mm-hmm. Why not? And again, so yeah, we're saying it's George Carlin material. We're not trying to pose it off as anything else or anybody else's. I just think that could be a fun night out to see that stuff.
And plus, I was talking to a 12-year-old boy the other day at a party. It was a family party.
All right.
And he's a real jokester.
Yeah.
So I got on YouTube Rodney Dangerfield stuff. He was howling, 12 years old.
Right.
He was like, "This is great," because he's a wise ass. This kid, just
Yeah.
So the kid, let's see, going there.
Well said.
Thank you.
Brendan Bird's got to go. All right, Brendan. See you later. Thanks for watching. I was about to read Fremder, but he removed it. Something about Rotten Tomatoes. All right. You know what? With that, we're just going to go top 10 movies. If you want to know, I'll tell you tomorrow.
I do.
I'll tell you tomorrow. No? All right. Top 10 movies of all time according to Rotten Tomatoes.
By their critics or people who watch them?
Well, I'm assuming whoever wrote this article watched these movies.
So it's from a critic's point of view, not most watched movies.
Oh, well, it's not according to like ticket sales or anything like that.
Okay.
So I'm assuming this is somebody's opinion. All right, they're still going on about this. Andy Pajanos. Let's see what Andy Complanos has to say. Personally, I would find it completely unsatisfying to do someone else's material. It would be acting, not actually performing stand-up. I used to date an old stripper, says Fremder, that had a pair of Rotten Tomatoes. It'd be like acting, not actually performing stand-up. I don't know if I agree with that. If you really love the material and you can get behind it, I think you could sell it. I mean, what's the difference? There are plenty of comedians that have jokes written for them. They didn't write it, but they sell it, and they sell it perfectly. The conviction is spot on, so why can't...
But it would be acting.
It's acting if you're going to do it the same exact way they did it. In fact, acting, you and I have played the same roles in certain shows. We don't do them the same.
No.
So if I did it, and I will admit, I do recall times I saw you, we were doing the same part in the show. Like some nights it was him, some nights it was me. But I remember seeing you do certain things with the role. I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm doing that. Is that a form of copying?
And
sure.
same thing. Yes.
Well, thanks. But same thing. I mean, The Who. Pete Townsend writes all the Who songs. Roger Daltrey, with his singing and his interpretation of Pete Townsend's writing, is better than Townsend himself.
Yeah.
So who cares if the joke's already been out there for people to hear? If I love the joke, and you or me can do it with some conviction, why not? It would still work. And maybe the fact that people know it already, maybe that's part of the allure. Maybe they like that. They like the familiarity. Carol, Michael and I think so similar. I think of a question and he says it. Such a connection.
My buddy.
Me and my buddy Joe Murphy, people used to tease us that we shared a brain because we used to finish each other's sentences. So I don't know. We're not out there trying to change the world by doing. I just think it would be a fun night out. Am I saying it's as good as coming here this weekend to see, like tomorrow night, Jim Constatellis, or this weekend with Wally Collins or Stevie GB or Jim DeLakis, Jim Mendrinos, or One Funny Lisa Marie? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it's going to be as great as them. But I do think it'll still be a fun night out. I actually asked Stevie GB if he wanted to come on the show today. He did not respond. Stevie GB used to work with us in Murder Mysteries.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did not respond. He's playing the Giga Room this weekend. Govs.com. All right, real quick, I'll read you this list of
I'm dying
top
to hear this.
10 films of all time according to Rotten Tomatoes. Number 1, L.A. Confidential.
That's number 1?
Good movie. I would definitely not make my top 10 list.
No.
All right, I'm giving you the choice. Am I answering Rusciello or am I reading this list? Because we got to go.
I would rather talk to John.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
I don't mind.
It's your program.
But we're just running late, that's all. Go ahead.
I know it's late. I'm sorry to interrupt the show, but I can't let this go. The reason I just can't. The reason why this 12-year-old kid was laughing at Kaplan, not because of Rodney Dangerfield's joke. He was laughing at his stupid mug talking about Rodney Dangerfield. That's number one. Number two, off camera, let Mike Kaplan tell you about Jackie Mason and John Rusciello. I don't like to bring my personal stuff out, but Jackie Mason was one of the greatest men ever put on the face of this earth.
Wow.
He was a great man, and very few people know this. He was a rabbi. His whole family was a rabbi. I was personal friends with Jackie. All right? His daughter is a fantastic young lady. Haven't seen her in 25 years. But I used to walk his daughter down Fifth Avenue. So, but off camera, Mike will tell you.
So,
and he's losing his mind. He forgets.
So if I said your name to Sheba Mason, she would know who I'm talking about?
She would know me. Yes, she would know me. She wouldn't know me by my name. She would know me by my nickname that Jackie used to call me. All right, but yes.
All right.
So let Mike tell you the whole story. Mike knows the whole story about Jackie and
I will ask him when we get off the air.
I miss him dearly. I really miss him.
Jackie or Mike?
Mike, please. All right. It's amazing. You're a great man, even having him. How can you tolerate him an hour and a half, 2 hours every week?
Why do you think I'm trying to get out of here?
I don't blame you. All right. Goodbye. All right, great show, by the way, guys.
Thank you, pal.
And you wore that same shirt with a turtleneck, so don't stop.
I'll
go back on YouTube and look at your segment. It was the same shirt. All right? And I lied. It was $1.59. Goodbye.
See, we just yesed him to death. It's not like John, he admitted it was the same shirt. Like we just, in his head, you guys had an argument about it, and that's it. All right, so number 1, L.A. Confidential.
John's the greatest.
Which,
they're out of their minds, I'm sorry.
good movie, L.A. Confidential.
Kim
But
Basinger.
yeah, absolutely right. Good movie, would not be at the top, would not be on my top 10. No. All right, number 2, The Godfather, of course.
That L.A. Confidential. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Wow.
Number 3, Casablanca. Number 4, Seven Samurai.
What?
Right. Number 5, Parasite. I think I've heard of it. Don't know anything about it.
I don't think I saw it.
Next is Schindler's List.
I made out there on Schindler's List.
You made out during Schindler's List?
Remember that bit from Seinfeld?
Yes.
Yeah.
The next one, Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, come on.
Exactly. Next, Toy Story 2.
2?
Toy Story 2. Then it's Chinatown.
What?
Then On the Waterfront is number 10. That's the list.
On the Waterfront is number 10?
Yeah. Give me your top 5. Go.
Rennie and Snippy?
Rennie and Stimpy.
Remy and Stimpy. My top 5?
Yeah.
They say The Godfather is the best movie ever made.
Well, do you agree?
No.
Oh, all right. So I asked for your top 5.
On the Waterfront is in my top 5.
Okay.
Schindler's List. Saving Private Ryan.
Oh, nice. That's a good one.
I'm going to blow your mind. My Octopus Teacher.
I've never heard of that. That's the name of a movie?
Yes. It's a documentary. It won the Academy Award for Best Documentary a couple of years ago.
Wow.
It's about a man who's having trouble with his life, and he goes back to diving in South Africa, and he forms a bond with this little octopus. And how... You're going to think I'm nuts. I'm telling you, watch it. I believe it's on Netflix.
And did he say, I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden?
I knew some Ariel joke was coming.
You're lucky that's all I said. I'm sure Fremder and Plajanos are now like on a race right now to see who can come up with the most perverted answer to this.
My octopus teacher, he bonds with an octopus.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
So I think that's 4. Number 5. The first Rocky is in my top 10, I think. The first Rocky.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the first Rocky is right up there with The Godfather. I love it that much.
I agree. Yeah.
Well, all right. The first Rocky. My favorite movie of all time is The Naked Gun.
Why am I not surprised?
I just laugh hysterically every time I watch it.
Believe it or not, the only movie that really made me laugh out loud was any John Candy movie.
Uncle Buck is a great movie.
I just watched it the other night.
Love that movie.
And Liar Liar. And
Jim Carrey?
Dumb and Dumber, yes.
Dumb and Dumber is good. What movies make you cry? And I'm assuming you're an easy crier, I bet.
Not really.
No?
I think the biggest tear... I have 2. Love Story.
Okay.
And Brian's Song.
Oh, yeah, good ones. Good ones. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Mine is Snoopy Comes Home. I cried as I saw it. I was like 7. I wet my eyes. That's when Snoopy leaves Charlie Brown, goes back to his original owner. I cried like a baby.
Wait, I never saw that.
Oh, really?
Snoopy leaves Charlie Brown.
Yeah. Well, the movie's 50 years old, so it's not a spoiler alert. He comes back. But he does leave him for a while to go back to his original owner. I forget what the reason was.
Oh, because he was owned by someone else.
Yeah, he had an owner before Charlie Brown. And he actually leaves to go back for some reason. But then ends up coming back.
Sad.
Oh, it was. There's this big scene of him just, he's got, like the old cartoons, they carry the stick
with the handkerchief,
everything. And he's got that walking down the middle of a road, and Charlie Brown just, I cried like I was 7.
Well, you were a little kid.
My brother, too. Both of us cried our eyes. Eyes? We cried our eyes out.
Our eyes. Who are you, Gollum? Oh, I'm sorry. All the Lord of the Rings are up there for me.
To make you cry? Or just as good movies?
Good, great.
Oh, I've never seen any of them.
Wow.
Never. Any of them. The octopus works the guy up to 5 tentacles. It's hot. See, there it is. That's from Plajanos, and now here's Fremder. I put my yellow submarine in an octopus's garden. I told you they were racing on that keyboard. Who's going to be first? Oh, I typed it wrong. Damn it. Got to go back.
But if they watched the movie, they wouldn't be joking.
That's right. That's right. You can see Andy Plajanos here on Friday. He'll be hanging out with Laura Patton on Friday. Looking forward to that, of course. Tomorrow, me and Frank will be talking to Mark White.
Puppet?
Without a puppet, I hope. And then Monday, we have the guys from the band Seconds Out. See, that's a Genesis tribute band. They're not coming in here doing their Phil Collins impressions. But that's on Monday. Tuesday, I think we have a comedian by the name of Anthony Cassess coming in. I don't know much about him yet. He's kind of like one of those internet sensation guys who makes videos but has gotten into the stand-up world. He contacted me about coming in. Let's see, what else we got going on? So today is Wednesday. There's nothing else on here the rest of the day. Tomorrow, Thursday, Circling the Drain is on tomorrow night. And Donversations with Don Sill Friday night. And then, and that'll do it. Govs.com, ladies and gentlemen. Come see Gus tomorrow night. Wally Collins this weekend. Stevie GB, Jim DeLakis, Jim Mendrinos, a bunch of other comedians that'll be entertaining on the Governor's stage this weekend. One Funny Lisa Marie playing the Smithtown Performing Arts Center, brought to you by Governors. O.J. Simpson can finally rest peacefully knowing that rest peacefully knowing his wife's killer is dead. A little bit of Bush, known as the Nordberg. Okay, thank you, Fremder. And that, what else did I miss? Oh, don't forget Knockem Dead Comedy. Go to knockemdeadcomedy.com to see our schedule, find out info on how you can hire us. Don't forget, September 28th, a night with Knockem Dead Comedy here at Governor's. The Knockem Dead Comedy Game Show, Triple X Trivia. It's going to be a lot of fun. Come join us for that. Go to Knockem Dead Comedy to get our full schedule. And, of course, go to govs.com to get their full schedule and make reservations to some great shows. It's our first official Wednesday back. Thanks, pal.
Thank you.
Good to see you back here.
It's awesome.
All right, we'll see you next Wednesday. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with Frank and Mark White. Everybody enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Suck it.
What will you experience at a Knockem Dead Comedy Murder Mystery Show? Suspense, excitement, love, more love, violence. Well, not really. And, of course, some music. Knockem Dead Comedy is the #1 murder mystery troupe, entertaining thousands of people for over 20 years.
Have a great night or what? Good.
Their hilarious murder mystery shows are full of audience interaction from beginning to end that will keep you laughing all night long. Their shows are not to be missed. Knockem Dead Comedy's murder mystery themes include a mob show, a redneck wedding, a high school reunion, a family reunion with a luau theme, or your own custom show.
Johnny, you have a good time tonight or what?
Had an awesome time.
All right. You had a great time. KDC, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, all right.
Fundraisers